The secret of heaven and hell that human beings do not know. Humans do not go to heaven or hell after death. In the universe, there is neither heaven nor hell that people believe they will go after they die. What people fear most while living their lives is committing sins. On the other hand, what the spirit soul fears most is making its karma. What people are afraid of is hell, where they believe they will go after death. However, for spirit souls who are gaining material experiences by wearing human bodies, the most fearful thing is their annihilation, caused by their excessive karmas. Sin is a matter of ethical values and legal judgments applied to the material world where humans live. On the other hand, karma is a standard of the heaven for evaluating spirit souls who are wearing human bodies and experiencing the material world. Even if a person dies after completing his life, his spirit soul does not go to heaven or hell, but instead it leaves behind its karma. A life focused on dissolving karma is so hard that it is like hell. A life aimed to dissolve karma is a life that no one envies. A life designed for dissolving karma is a life that is not controllable by one's will. A karma-making life is a life that others envy. A karma-causing life is the way of life in which it is natural for one to walk on a flowery path. A life that builds up karma is a life in which one follows one's desires faithfully. The amount of karma that can be dissolved through one life is fixed, while the amount of karma that can be made through one life is not fixed. What people are most afraid of is death, but what the spirit soul fears most is its annihilation. The proverb saying, "Better a live coward than a dead hero," explains most effectively that a spirit soul can have the opportunity to learn and experience for its own growth only when it wears a human body. The saying, "Better a living beggar than a buried emperor," explains most figuratively that a spirit soul can be given the chance to dissolve its karma only when it wears a human body. From a spirit soul's point of view, it is an incredible fortune to a spirit soul that the spirit soul is allowed to live as a human being, even for just one life, as described in the proverb, "Better a living beggar than a buried emperor." In other words, if a spirit soul is said to live a life as a human being for 100 years, the spirit soul must prepare for this life while waiting in the fifth dimensional astral plane for 300 years. That is about 3 times the average human lifespan. Besides, in order for the spirit soul to wear the human body, and gain material experiences, the alignment of the energies of spirit, soul, and back, and the purification of these three energies must be conducted in the astral plane of a planet for a long time. The spirit is the vessel that contains the consciousness of the Creator and the divinity of the Creator. The soul is the coat that the spirit wears to protect itself. The soul is the coat that the spirit must wear to gain material experiences in the world of Samtaek. The energy of back is the coat that the spirit soul must wear to enter the body of a life form. This energy is the coat that the spirit soul must wear to be able to embody consciousness and emotions through the body of a life form. When a person dies, the person's spirit must be purified and healed in the astral plane, even for a relatively short period. The spirit is part of the consciousness of the Creator. Therefore, in the universe, it is unnecessary and impossible to punish and give pain to the consciousness of the Creator. The notion that the spirit harboring the 18th dimensional consciousness of the Creator can be punished in the 5th dimension of lower vibrational frequencies only stems from the ignorance of human beings who have not known about the structure of the grand universe. When a person dies, his spirit and soul are separated from each other, and the place where his spirit is supposed to stay becomes different from the place where his soul is bound to reside. After a person dies, his soul must be healed and purified in the astral plane for a long time. The being who wears the human body and gains material experiences is the spirit. The soul is not subject to punishment or heavenly judgment. Karma is the punishment imposed only on the spirit. The form of punishment that a spirit is given due to its karma is the diminished manifestation of its spirit consciousness. If a spirit loses more than 51% of the consciousness of the Creator that it has been granted at the time of its creation by the Creator, the spirits will be annihilated. Even in this case, the soul is not subject to annihilation or judgment. The soul must be healed and purified in the astral plane for a considerable amount of time before it can rejoin its cognate spirit. The place called hell, aimed to punish souls, does not exist in the universe. Instead, the space for healing and purifying soul energies only exists in the 5th dimensional astral plane. People believe that when a person dies, his soul flies, whereas his back scatters. However, to be more specific, when a person dies, his spirit is first separated from his body, and then his soul is separated from his body, followed by the separation of his back. All these three energies are retrieved by the angels of death. Since the energy of back has the lowest vibrational frequency among the three energies, the process of healing and purifying this energy takes the longest time. During this healing process, the energy of back is precisely fine-tuned, just as a piano is tuned. After the energy of back is tuned up, it meets with its cognate soul again and is readjusted as a pair. Finally, the three energies of spirit, soul, and back are gathered again to be readjusted as a group before entering into the heavenly administrative procedures to receive a new human body. The astral plane is not a place for punishing the energies of spirit, soul, and back, but a place where these three energies prepare themselves to gain material experiences. Because of the concept of heaven and hell, various religions have been able to be established on the planet Earth. Because of the matrix of heaven and hell, the planet Earth has been able to be operated as a prison planet in the universe. Because of the matrix of heaven and hell, cosmic karmas have been able to be dissolved on the planet Earth in the way of darkness. Heaven and hell are a matrix set up by the heaven to install the religious matrix in the material world on earth. The heaven has used countless holograms of heaven and hell to allow spirit souls who are gaining material experiences to learn about the invisible world and to maintain the religious matrix through the experiences of religious mysteries. The heaven has used numerous holograms of Jesus or Buddha at the level of human consciousness to maintain the religious matrix on earth. In fact, a more fearful thing than hell is karma. This is a harsh truth that spirit souls traveling through the material world have to face. Heaven and hell are no longer needed in the age of Fuchan, in which the 18th dimensional heaven is settled down on the earth. Just as the one who has created problems oneself should solve those problems, the matrix of heaven and hell, which has been installed and operated by the heaven itself, will be demolished by the heaven with the collapse of all religions. Here is the good heavenly news that new matrices suitable for the new earth under the new heaven are being installed by the heaven. February 22nd in 2021, Udeka wrote,